Okay, so we're going to start off with SketchUp. I'm going to take you through a very, very quick tour of all these tools that you see, or most of the tools that you see up here. First of all, I'm going to start off with a rectangle. You can build whatever you want. A few commands that you need to know about. Hold down the middle mouse wheel and you can spin around and see different things. You can grab this hand and move it around, or you can use this to spin around. You need to know that because you need to check the underneath things and different sides of this. So the first thing that I did was I grabbed the rectangle tool right up here. I'm just going to click at the origin where all the axes come together. See all those different colored axes, and I'm just going to drag it out and make a rectangle. This is the push-pull tool. Anything you want. See, I make a circle. Make it in the circle. See the circle tool? I can push-pull the circle up or down. See, I push the circle down so it's like a hole in there. And I could do it all the way down if I grab that part, rotate my camera by holding middle mouse button, and then I could go to this other side, match it with that side, and look at that, I've made a hole through this thing. Another thing you can do is the pencil tool. Now the pencil tool can reference a midpoint of something, over, draw, kind of zigzag and kind of odd shapes, or whatever you want. And then use the push-pull tool again, close that up. Check this out. If we double click something and see how it grabs those lines also, then you can use this thing and scale it and drag it and make it smaller. If you hold down, press Control, it'll hold it to the middle and make it go exactly to the middle. So I scaled that down. Now I'm going to push-pull that up some more. Do like that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to scale it back again and scale it out to even bigger. Again, holding down Control so it does it uniformly. I made a very strange roof for this sort of structure. Look on the side of this. We could make a rectangle if we wanted to, make kind of a door on that slanted side if we wished. And what else haven't I used? Oh, I've used a circle. Look at this. There's a polygon. Makes kind of a hexagon on there. And again, push, pull, bring it up. And we could put a circle in there. If we reference the outside, hold it over for a second, you can lock onto the center and make a circle that goes just right out of the center. And pull that up. So there's all kinds of stuff that we can do. I don't like it that big. Make it a bit smaller. And then pull it up with a push-pull tool. We need to show you guys the rotate tool. Now this is a kind of an interesting one. So for this one, I think I'm going to make a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this here. Now see, if I hold it like this until it locks right there with that diagonal line, if you look carefully, I'll zoom in. I'm rolling the mouse wheel to zoom in, by the way. I make a square. I'm going to bring that up. And now watch this. This is pretty interesting. It's important. I'm going to have to do this part here. I have to actually draw a line for me. You may not have to, but I do for this part. So I have to make a separate line here with the pencil, of course. You can draw lines with the pencil. Now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to grab this shape here, and I'm going to use the rotate tool. Reference this side by floating midpoint, and then go to where the middle is, and it'll lock onto both of them. You click there, you click once to grab it, and then you start spinning it. See, I'm spinning that top one, and I'm rotating it. I'm just going to spin it a little bit so it looks kind of cool, but it still kind of makes sense. See that? Now we have rotated that top piece. Let's push-pull it again. Hey, you know what we can do? We can spin this piece. So I'm going to grab midpoint, reference midpoint. That's not what. Midpoint to midpoint. It's a little different because it's rotated, but you see what we can do. So anyways, and again, remember the push-pull tool, very versatile. You could push this out if you wanted to. If you want to make this triangle out, it doesn't matter. Again, I'm pushing escape to cancel that. That's another thing that's important. If you screw up, you want to be able to undo it. Oh no, I don't want that. It looks permanent. Control Z or Alt backspace. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. It undoes stuff over and over again. Undoes stuff. Control Y does it over again. Like, oh, I want it back. So I'm going to Control Z. Now the last thing I want to show you guys real quick is the paint bucket. Paint bucket, here we go. Click over here. I'm going to go to colors. Since I'm colorblind, I have to use colors named. And so I'm going to click this one, and I can paint stuff. I can click on different shapes and paint them different colors. You can see I'm changing the color. Pretty obvious how to do that. You can also go to other things on the menu. Whatever. I'm going to go to translucent, which means kind of see-through things, and I'm going to make this door translucent. Make this side of the cube translucent so you can see through it. You can paint all this and make it look as though it's made out of glass. The more you click things, the more textures you apply. Another thing you can do is you can grab stuff with this and hold down the shift button and grab a whole bunch of stuff at once. And let's say I want to make that all metal looking with shiny metal. There we go. Or maybe some of this sort of a pattern, textures. So you can do whatever you want. And there's all kinds of stuff to play with here. There's fencing, all kinds of things. Asphalt and concrete. Oh, looks like concrete on this side. Okay, so when you're done playing with that, and I need some more colors on here, why not? I'm just going to fill this up with things. So that's good enough for me for now. When you're done with that, what you're going to do is you're going to close this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to move it around with the hand and the rotation and zooming in and out by rolling that mouse wheel to have a good view of it. Whatever you see on your screen is exactly what it's going to be. So I'm going to zoom in. That's a pretty good zoom. Grab it with the hand, move it up a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File to prove that I did it and to turn in the assignment. I'm going to go to File, Export, a 2D graphic. Okay. So I'm going to export. I'm going to name this. For me, I'm going to go to my lesson plan, and I'm going to name this one Strange, because it's a strange house to live in. You can name it whatever you want, and click Export. And remember, it's Export 2D Graphic, Export. And I just saved it in my, you have to find your file folder. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this. I'll keep that open for later. And I'm going to open up my web browser. And I'm going to go, and you're going to type in your blog website, then /WPAdmin. For me, that's 3dlessonplans.com/WPAdmin. I have this garbage, I have to uninstall that. So type in your login credentials, that means your username and your password. And I'm going to post, and what we need to do here, I've already pre-done this, so I need to trash that one. What I need to do here is I need to add a new post. And we need to title it. We're going to put SketchUp assignment. And at the end we'll put 1. So SketchUp assignment 1. And down here we're going to put some text. This is a strange building. Now whatever you draw, I don't care what it is. A robot, give me a sentence, a complete sentence that makes sense. Capitals and everything's capitalized and punctuated successfully. Give me a sentence that tells me what yours is about, or just some sort of an idea about what I'm looking at. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch and go down here. We're going to go to Set Featured Image. And the problem is that you don't have it uploaded yet. You have to upload this to your web page. So you're going to upload files and select files. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to go to Documents. And for me, it's Documents 3D Lesson Plans. And if you look right here, it says Strange. And I'm going to click that one. That's my photo. And there it is. There's my JPEG. I've uploaded it to the website. I'm going to set featured image. You have to click that button. And now I'm going to go over to Format on the side here. And I'm going to change that to Image because I want it to really shine. That image is the big deal on this page. And that's all I want for this blog post. Publish. You have to publish it, otherwise it doesn't save it. And it doesn't publish it to the internet. Now watch, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to view post to see how it looks. When you're a teacher, and that's me, when I go, I'm going to see this, and I'm going to know that you did the assignment. I can see evidence that you used the scale tool, the circle, the polygon, the box, the rotate, things like that, and that you've colored it with the paint bucket, which applies texture.